The African striped weasel, Poecilogale albinucha, also known as the white-naped weasel, striped weasel or African weasel, is a small mammal native to sub-Saharan Africa, where its range stretches from as far north as Kenya down south to South Africa. It belongs in the family Mustelidae and is the lone member of the genus Poecilogale. It has a long, slender body with short legs and a bushy tail. One of the smallest carnivores in Africa, it measures 24 to 35 cm, 9.4 to 13.8 in long excluding the tail, with males generally larger than females. It has black fur over most of its body, with distinctive white bands running from the top of its head down its back, with the tail being completely white. The closest living relative of this species is the striped polecat, and it may also be related to the extinct Poecilogale bolti.
The African striped weasel is most commonly seen in savanna and veldt grasslands with termite mounds, but has also been recorded in semi-deserts, rainforests, fynbos, and even areas used by humans such as pine plantations and agricultural land. It is a powerful digger and excavates burrows which it inhabits. Though not commonly seen, it has been listed as least concern on the IUCN Red List since 1996 because of its wide range and habitat tolerance. There are no known major threats to the species, though it is commonly used in local traditional medicine. Owls and domestic dogs are known to prey on it, and weasels sometimes die in fights against each other. It generally flees from any perceived threats, but may try warding off its attacker with noises, fake charges, or a noxious fluid sprayed from its perineal glands. African striped weasels are specialized predators that feed almost entirely on rodents, though they occasionally eat birds as well. Even when hungry, it ignores other types of small animals and eggs provided to it as food. It commonly bites its prey in the back of the neck while rolling around or kicking the prey's back, likely in an attempt to dislocate the neck. Larger prey may instead be dispatched with bites to the throat, though only females have been observed doing this. It rarely drinks water, only doing so in small quantities when the weather is hot. It is mostly a nocturnal and solitary animal, though small groups of up to 4 individuals are sometimes seen. Breeding takes place from spring to the end of summer, and 2 to 3 young tend to be born per litter after a gestation period of about 30 days. One of the smallest carnivores found in Africa, along with the dwarf mongoose, the African striped weasel has a slender body and short legs, and is the proportionally longest mammal native to the continent. It has small eyes, a short, broad snout, and short, rounded ears. 220 adults have a head-body length of 24 to 35 cm 9 to 14 in, with the tail adding a further 13.8 to 21.5 cm 5 to 8 in. This species exhibits sexual dimorphism, with males being larger than females. 6 males sampled in KwaZulu-Natal in 1978 weighed an average of 339 g 12 Oz, and 3 sampled in the former Cape Province in 1981 had an average weight of 357 g 13 Oz. In comparison, 251 g 9 Oz and 215 g 8 Oz were the average weights of females according to the same respective studies, with the former sampling 6 females and the latter sampling 2. 221 the fur is mostly black, with a white patch on the top of the head which splits into 2 and then 4 white to pale yellowish bands running down the back. 222 the bands may change in hue and become darker, with those of one subadult recorded to change from white to a light honey color within a time span of about 6 weeks, and those of a different individual in captivity were reported to change from light yellow to deep buff. 23 staining caused by the soil in its habitat may cause these bands to appear red, gray, or yellow, particularly in periods of rain. 8. The width of the bands varies between individuals. Some specimens found in Botswana have bands reaching 1.5 cm, 0.6 in width, whereas they only reach 0.7 cm, 0.3 in others. The tail is completely white in color and has a bushy appearance, with each of its hairs growing about 3 cm, 1 in. In comparison, most of the body has hairs which are around 1 cm, 0.4 in long, and those on the limbs are only 0.5 cm, 0.2 in long. 2. The head is elongated, with the skulls of some females measured in 1951 reaching an average length of 5.13 cm, 2 in, and an average width of 2.36 cm, 1 in, at the zygomatic arches cheek area. The lower jaw fits tightly into the jaw joint, which greatly limits its ability to move its jaw from side to side. The carnassial teeth are sharp, and the canine teeth are long. 2. The dentition has a dental formula of 3121-3121, that is, 3 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, and 1 molar on either half of each jaw, for a total of 28 teeth. This differs from the striped polecat, its closest living relative, in having 1 less premolar on each side of each jaw and 1 less molar on each side of the lower jaw. 1724-25. The absence of this teeth is a derived trait differing from the ancestral condition retained by the striped polecat. as are some features of the cusps projecting parts of the first molar, namely the absence of a metaconid and the fusion of the metacone and pericone. Like other mustelids, the limbs of an African striped weasel each have 5 digits, with each digit bearing a sharp claw. The front claws are larger and more curved than the hind claws. 220 each digit has an oval-shaped pad on its underside. The undersides of the paws are mostly hairless, each one having a large, 4-lobed plantar pad, with each front limb having 2 additional carpal pads on the wrist. In this aspect, it differs from some mustelids, whose paws have hairy undersides, and is most similar to the Malayan weasel and backstriped weasel. However, the African striped weasel differs from these 2 species in having larger front claws and the 3rd and 4th digits of the hind limbs being closer together. This makes it a rare example of a mustelid whose paws are intermediate in form between cursorial paw forms, adapted for running like in the Malayan and back-striped weasels, and fossorial paw forms, adapted for digging like in the striped polecat. 26 females usually have 4 teats, though some have been found with 6. Like many other mustelids, the African striped weasel has a developed pair of perineal scent glands, too.
African striped weasels are generally solitary, but may occasionally be seen in pairs or family groups of up to 4 individuals. Males are aggressive when they encounter one another, at first bristling up the hair on their tails, making short cries and fake charges, and then escalating to fighting with bites, thrashing, and aggressive shrieks if neither individual retreats. 2. The species has been identified as making 6 different calls. Apart from the warning and aggressive calls, and a 3rd call that transitions between the 2, another call signals submission of a retreating male. In addition, there is a call which indicates surrender during a fight, and a greeting call is used only between males and females and between young and their mother. Young weasels also make distress calls when separated from their mother. The breeding season of the African striped weasel is extensive, lasting from spring to the end of summer. The testes of the male remain large from September to April, spring to early autumn, and are shrunken for the rest of the year. A soft chattering sound, believed to be a greeting call, is emitted by the male when courting a female during this time. If the female is receptive, she may express her receptiveness by moving around him. The male will then gently chew on her cheek, sniff her vulva, and hold onto her neck from behind. During mating, the male continues to grip the female's neck from behind while clutching his forelimbs around her pelvic region. The duration of copulation is variable and can be as short as 27 minutes, though it typically lasts between 60 and 80 minutes, 30. At least 3 bouts of copulation can occur within a day. Females raise the young with no aid from the males and give birth to 1 litter per year of 2 or 3 young after a gestation period of about 30 days, though they may have a second litter if the first is lost early. 2. Birth takes place in a burrow during the daytime, and the mother eats the placenta afterwards. The newborn young weigh just 4g, 0.14 oz each. They are almost hairless, with their pink skin visible over most of the body, a mane of white hair on the back of the head, and a hump which stretches from the back of the head to the shoulders. Their mother carries them by this hump until it and the mane disappear at 7 weeks, at which point she carries them by the scruff of the neck instead. Newborns have closed eyes and ears, making them blind and deaf, despite the eye slits and pinning ear flaps already being present. Their skin becomes dark at 7 days old, and the prominent black and white coloration of the species develops at 28 days old. Their milk canine teeth grow out at 5 weeks, at which point they begin eating the soft parts of prey killed by their mother, with permanent canines growing at 11 weeks before the milk canines are shed. Their eyes open at an age of 51 to 54 days. By 11 weeks of age, they are weaned, stop drinking milk, and they start killing their own prey at 13 weeks. They reach full adult size at 20 weeks and are sexually mature at 8 months, 30. Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe, follow on social media links.